Welcome to the Success with Jewelry podcast, where we invite you inside our conversations about business success and marketing for jewelry designers and entrepreneurs.
We're Liz and Laryssa, jewelry marketing experts with a combined 16 years of experience in jewelry marketing and proven track records in helping jewelry brands meet their goals. When you listen to or watch this podcast, you get an intimate and exclusive peek behind the curtain of all the things you wish you could know about earning success in this industry.
Welcome to episode 32. In this episode, Liz and I will be giving you one quick tip and takeaway about our topic of the day. What is SMS or text marketing, and what are the pros and cons of using it? We also want to tell you about our insider community. When you join for only $20 a month, you have access to extended episodes full of tips that you can start implementing today and further resources about each topic we discuss. In the extended version of this episode, you can hear me go on a very long rant about text message marketing. I get very fired up about it. But also, you'll learn who should use SMS, how should you use it, and examples of jewelry brands that are using it to fuel your inspiration for doing this type of marketing. To get access to this exclusive content, as well as direct access to me and Liz, sign up by visiting successwithjewelry.com. Let's get into it.
Yes, so this podcast episode was inspired by a reel that Becky, also known as Diamonds in the Library, posted about getting a text message from a store she purchased from like 7 or 9 years ago. And it was a text that she did not sign up for. And she did not like it. And if you read the comment section of this reel, people are angry. People do not like text message marketing. So that's why me and Laryssa wanted to talk about it, because Laryssa, who loves marketing, is a fan and thinks that it can be used in a way that's really effective.
Yeah. And I'm just sorry that Becky had that experience, because I think she just had the bad fortune to interact with someone who didn't know how to use SMS marketing and was breaking all the rules. And I'm sorry that put a bad taste in her mouth and in the mouths of all the people that commented on that reel.
Yes, it sounds like a lot of people think it's intrusive. But the thing is that if your audience is active on text, likes receiving text messages, it could be a good opportunity if they sign up and you follow the proper protocol.
Absolutely. So it's very similar to email marketing in that you're communicating a message in like a more personalized way because you have that person's email address or phone number, but the messages get delivered as a text the same way that a friend may text you. But the important thing to note here, and why this example Becky shared was very bad, or not bad from her, but bad on the part of the jewelry store, is that SMS is highly, highly regulated, probably even more so than email marketing. And there are really strict rules and guidelines around it. And subscribers need to willingly opt into your list for you to be able to communicate with them.
Yeah, so this is not like, I know some people have great relationships with their clients and they nurture those relationships, and their clients like staying in touch via text and like seeing what's new from them and hearing from them and communicating that way. This is different. This is like sending mass marketing, so one to many. So this is different than just like having a text conversation with clients and on an already built relationship. This is somebody opting into your your text message list, your SMS list. They're opting in, and you can only text them if they've opted in, and you have to give them a really easy way to opt out.
Yeah. And it's important to know, if someone opts into your email and you just happen to have their phone number, you cannot, that is not an automatic opt-in into your SMS. It's actually a separate permission that someone has to agree to receive text messages from you.
Yes. So you have to make sure you're following all of these rules and the protocols. The jewelry store that texted Becky was not doing this, and it is not best practice to ever just cold contact somebody you haven't talked to in 7 years via text message, in my opinion.
Yeah. And if you wanted to get like really technical about it, I think that's against like the Federal Trade Commission like laws. I don't want
Right.
to like scare people away from this, because if you use a managed text message service like Klaviyo has it, there are other platforms, they will help you comply. So you don't have to go and sit down and read like law documents about this or anything. But like, just know there are best practices and you can't just do what you want.
Right. So if you're doing SMS marketing, you also have to make sure this is part of the privacy policy on your website.
Yeah. And then in the series of texts that someone gets when they sign up, there needs to be, they need to confirm again. That's usually by replying yes or Y or the letter Y. There needs to also be like a disclosure that you can unsubscribe by typing stop. So there's like a clear series of messages that need to be sent in order for it to be like within guidelines.
Yes. And a lot of SMS providers charge a fee per text you send, and text with images are a bit more pricey.
And if you do have international subscribers, that can be more costly, but it's all managed through the platform that you use. Like Klaviyo, for example, is one. They have the text marketing.
Let's get into some pros and cons.
Yeah. So if you have loyal fans or people who are really excited to hear from you and not miss messages in their email inbox, they could potentially be really excited for signing up from text from you, because they'll make sure they hear about the drop or the new thing or the promo or whatever it is. So it could elevate the customer experience.
Right. And it forces you to communicate your message very briefly and get to the point. And it also forces you to have a strong call to action. So you don't want to pursue SMS marketing if you're not sending out messaging that has a call to action. You want it to be sales driven, or you want it to be action driven. You don't want to just send out soft messages here. You want to have a reason to be sending them.
And there's a character limit too. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but like you're forced within the boundaries of what the text allows you to do.
Yes, and you can have fun with it. You can have, use your voice and make it more personal and more casual, because that's just kind of the nature of text message marketing. It's just when you receive text, they're more fun. You can have an emoji, you can, use shorthand, you can make it more casual.
Yeah, and it's a really easy way to get a direct kind of portal to your website. Like email, obviously, there are buttons, there are links, but sometimes when someone's scanning something like with their eye, it can be easy to miss those visual cues. In a text, it's like you can't run from it. It's a different color. It's usually blue in iMessage. The link is right there. The text is really short, and there's one link, you click it and you go to a website.
Right. And you want to make sure if you're doing this, that link is mobile friendly, because if it's not, there's no reason. People are looking at this on their phones.
It's also another touch point with your customers too. So if you do feel like your emails are getting lost or there's too much noise, or you are frustrated with like engagement on Instagram, this could be another way to like have a more intimate kind of relationship with your fans.
Definitely. I feel like a lot of people now, a lot of smaller brands are struggling to cut through the noise, and SMS marketing feels like it's something for big brands only, but it's not. In the extended episode, we share some examples from smaller brands too that are doing this. So it is an opportunity that you could think about. And in the future, we're going to talk about direct mailers too, like physical mailings, because I think that could be another good opportunity.
Absolutely. And one other pro I want to share, it's the like setup of it is a little bit of a learning curve, because you have to make sure like your privacy policy is updated. You have to kind of adjust your settings in the platform you're using. But once you have that up and running, it's shouldn't take a lot of extra time, especially if you're regularly sending emails and you're kind of adapting email for text, and you can pre-schedule these. So it's not like it's going to take you hours out of your week to do this.
Yeah. So let's get into some of the cons, which some of you who are listening are probably like, it's all cons. I don't want this. I don't want to do this.
They already know. They were waiting for us to talk about the cons. Well, I mean, one thing is, yeah, you can't just do what you want. But depending on how you look at it, that could be a pro too, because I think marketers need to like follow rules. So it's good that there are rules in place. But yeah, you kind of do have to pay attention to compliance. And that's a thing that if you've never thought about before, that might be a learning curve for you.
Right. And I mean, it is another thing to do. But the thing with this is that you really want it in alignment of your strategy and what you're already planning to do. So you want to send out these messages, these text messages in alignment with your email marketing. So it is another thing to do, but you kind of have your strategy already written, the thing that you're following. You know what you are going to do with this.
Hmm. And it can become costly, like for smaller brands. Let's say you have like 200 people on your list, it's going to be negligible cost. But if you do start building that list and you want to start putting like pictures in your text, that can start adding up. But hey, if you're doing it effectively, then the marketing should work to help you get sales. So it will justify that cost.
Right. And it's something you really want to be consistent with. So if you decide to pursue this, you want to make sure that you stay with it and show up consistently for a while to see if it's working.
Yeah. And then the last con we want to share is that unlike email, it stops at a one way as a one-way channel. So people cannot respond to you. This is different from using text as like a customer service tool where customers might text you with questions and you can reply. With this mass text marketing, you're not going to see someone like writing back to you because it's not actually you on the other side of that number.
You know what, Laryssa? I feel like this episode is great because we've been pushing people to try email marketing. And this is like SMS marketing is like a step further than email marketing. So
Mhm.
this could be like, okay, well, you're not ready to do this, but maybe try email marketing.
Yeah, that's true. It's almost like justifying email marketing more, why it's so much
Yes.
more important. Yeah. So again, as we mentioned in the bonus episode, we talk about who should be using SMS and as well as examples of brands that are using it effectively, a bunch of different use cases from bigger and smaller brands. So what do you think about SMS? Are you thinking about using it as a marketing tool or do you still hate it? Let us know. Visit successwithjewelry.com to sign up for the extended episode as well as exclusive content. And thanks so much for listening.